The Chinese chip market is undergoing significant changes, driven by U.S. chip restriction regulations. In response, China is striving for self-sufficiency in chip production by setting a target of achieving a 70% self-sufficiency rate and increasing domestic chip manufacturing. So why does China show such dedication to domestic chip production? And what does China's cancellation of 32.1 billion chip imports signify? China's drive for self-sufficiency. China recently released two domestically developed chips, namely the CM8610 LTE Cat1 chip and the CM6620NB IoT chip. These chips were collaboratively created by China Mobile, the Intellectual Property and Innovation Development Center of China, Academy of Information and Communications Technology, Tsinghua University School of Integrated Circuits, and Nanjing Chu Xinhu Alien. They fulfill the operating system requirements for various applications like smart homes, smart transportation, smart industries, and smart security. An important aspect is that these chips can be mass-produced. Research funding for Chinese chips reached a staggering 3 trillion yuan in 2022, with chip applications predominantly focused on the civilian sector. In reality, a few years ago, Chinese companies were reluctant to develop self-designed domestic chips. In the realm of domestic chips, China struggled to establish genuine demand. Abundant and affordable American chips made Chinese companies unwilling to invest time and effort into something lacking market competitiveness. This lack of demand resulted in the loss of funds and talent to other industries, hindering the formation of a complete industry chain and widening the technological gap between China and foreign nations. Historically, China's economic development relied on foreign investment and export-oriented industries, rather than independent innovation and technology research and development. China, as the world's largest chip market, heavily relies on imports, especially for high-end chips used in consumer electronics. However, China lacks production capacity for high-end chips below 7 nanometers, with its focus mainly on mature process nodes like 14 nanometers and 28 nanometers. To meet market demands, Chinese chip manufacturer SMIC is expanding its 12-inch wafer capacity for mature chips and significantly increasing shipments of 28 nanometers chips. This increase in domestic chip manufacturing is reducing China's dependence on imported chips. In the first quarter of this year, China's imports of integrated circuits decreased by 22.9% year-on-year, equivalent to a reduction of 32.1 billion chip imports compared to the previous year. This reduction in chip imports has made it challenging for overseas chip giants to generate significant profits. Utilizing domestic lithography machines. Shanghai Microelectronics, the only company in China with expertise in complete lithography machine production, is intensifying its research and development efforts in lithography machines. They have mastered the production of lithography masks with a resolution of 90 nanometers in the front-end lithography machine field. In the back-end lithography machine field, they possess excellent capabilities for producing 2.5D and 3D advanced packaging lithography machines. Advanced packaging technology plays a crucial role in enhancing chip performance, power consumption, reliability, and reducing size and cost. China's domestically produced lithography machine, primarily used for chip packaging, becomes vital for domestic chip development. Excelling in advanced packaging allows China to enhance the market competitiveness of its chips, attract more customers and partners, and promote the growth of its domestic chip industry. Chip replacement in domestic markets of China. The primary obstacle faced by domestic chip replacements in China is market development. This is due to established foreign brands with distinct advantages and a solid user base. Winning customer trust and reducing customer decision-making costs become exceedingly difficult tasks for these replacements. Historically, customers had trust issues with domestic chip replacements, especially for significant projects with high decision-making costs. They preferred mature foreign products, even if they were more expensive, as these products absolved them of responsibility in case of issues. In contrast, Chinese manufacturers had to individually demonstrate and convince decision-makers to open up the market, which was a challenging and arduous process. The enterprise's sales and brand awareness suffered when trust was lacking. Conversely, the lower the sales and brand awareness, the more difficult it became to gain trust. This predicament is not limited to the chip industry, but is prevalent in other high-end manufacturing sectors as well. Interestingly, the unexpected shift in the U.S. blockade policy has untied the knot that troubled many companies. As a result, the call for domestic chip replacements in China has undergone a significant change. Previously, companies actively sought out customers, but now customers are coming to them at any cost to adopt Chinese domestic substitutes. They are even willing to work overtime to address concerns such as technological maturity and the integrity of domestic software, which are no longer problematic compared to the uncertainties of facing supply chain risks. With the announcement of mobile companies producing chips, it signifies that China has transitioned from an era of material stacking. Chinese domestic chips are not only cheaper, but also come with various Chinese language documentation, instructional videos, and other resources, making them easy to use and practical. Once Chinese domestic chips are adopted, the decision-making cost becomes significantly high, making it challenging to switch back. Chinese companies have made notable advancements in GPU chip technology. Although Huawei's HiSilicon has designed the Kirin 9000 processor, China's weakness lies in the GPU chip field. Additionally, CPU chips are the core components for artificial intelligence and big data analysis, prompting the Biden administration to impose restrictions on high-end GPU processor sales to Chinese enterprises, such as NVIDIA. Fortunately, more and more Chinese companies, including internet giants like Baidu and Alibaba, are showcasing their strength in the GPU chip field, learning from Huawei's experience. Domestic GPU chip manufacturers like Bitmain Technology and Mushi Integrated Circuit are also dedicatedly working to create CPU processors that can rival NVIDIA's A100. As Bill Gates stated, the United States cannot prevent China from having powerful chips. Decoupling efforts will only expedite Chinese enterprises' journey toward chip independence. Under the restrictions imposed by the United States, China has successfully overcome one technological challenge after another. In this highly competitive market, there are still many unknown factors that will determine the victor. However, the continuous growth and development of Chinese chip companies reflect a positive trend: the impact on global markets. The United States' restrictive measures on Chinese chips accelerate China's pursuit of self-sufficiency. China's cancellation of 32.1 billion chip imports and the utilization of the first domestically produced lithography machine by Chinese enterprises are clear indications of this trend. Bill Gates recognizes the consequences of such measures, as they may result in China becoming self-sufficient while causing high-paying job losses in the United States. China's chip industry exhibits signs of self-sufficiency, while the U.S. technology industry experiences significant layoffs. In fact, from January to May of this year alone, the U.S. technology industry saw 130,000 job cuts, totaling over 410,000 nationwide. The decline in chip orders and prices signifies that American chips may be eliminated from the Chinese market. The potential of China's chip industry has been underestimated, with significant progress in chipset technology and the successful bypassing of Western blockades on 5-nanometer process technology. Huawei has played a crucial role in liberating China from lithography machine dependencies. Amid the U.S. chip embargo, Huawei focused on developing new quantum chips, investing 110 billion yuan in just 9 months. Huawei announced a breakthrough in quantum chip patents, resolving long-standing issues faced by U.S. chip giant Intel. This achievement highlights China's detour in surpassing the United States and reducing dependence by embracing domestic chip manufacturing, launching new types of chips, and establishing domestically owned production lines. China's chip industry is on a path towards self-sufficiency, reducing its dependence on imported chips. The cancellation of chip orders and the utilization of domestic lithography machines highlight this trend. The rise of China's chip industry presents challenges for American chip companies and has significant implications for the global market. As China continues to make strides in chip manufacturing technology, the United States faces the risk of losing market share and high-paying jobs. The video encourages viewers to share their thoughts on these developments and expresses gratitude for their support and engagement.